Commerce and Management Studies,
This call is
University
now
of
being
Calicut.
recorded.
He is a person with more than 38 years of academic experience. Besides the academic assignments, he served in different administrative posts like Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, Director, Directorate of Self-Financing Courses, University of Calicut, and many more. He has been serving as an approved research guide and successfully guided many MPhil students as well as PhD scholars. He has authored several books and published many articles in reputed journals too. He served as a keynote speaker in various international as well as national seminars. He is a life member of All India Commerce Association, All India Accounting Association, and various academic bodies of different autonomous colleges and universities in India. On behalf of the Research and Postgraduate Department of Commerce, I extend a very warm welcome to you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I would like to welcome our respected principal, Dr. Rajiv Thomas, to this session. Welcome, sir. Now, I would each and everyone.
Okay, dear friends, today in this afternoon, we have respected PILLAI sir. He is one of the senior most faculty in commerce in South India. He served in different colleges. He retired as the head Department of Commerce, University of Calicut. Now he is leading a pioneer MBA institute in Kerala. He is a prominent academician with so many credentials. In this afternoon, he is dealing with the topic how to write a research article. So he is the best person, suitable person to handle the session on behalf of Marthoma College Chingatra and the Research Department of Commerce. I personally invite Vijayachandran sir for the lecture. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you. Just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Once again, we welcome Sir.
സാറേ ആദ്യം അത് വന്നായിരുന്നു സാർ അത് പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നതായിട്ട് ആദ്യം വന്നായിരുന്നു
Wait. Mouse is not working properly, that is why. I think now it is okay.
No, sir. Okay, now it is okay, sir.
It is okay?
Now it is okay.
Okay.
Sir, is full screen, sir?
Okay.
Is it possible to full screen?
Okay, my dear participants. What about the visibility of my slide? I hope it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A very warm good afternoon to all. Most respected principal of the college, Dr. Rajiv Thomas, other faculty members of the Department of Commerce, Marthoma College, Chungatra, the participant teacher faculty members all over India, research scholars, MPhil students, other postgraduate students. Really, I am very happy to say that I would like to appreciate sincerely the organizers of this seminar because of two important factors. Number one is the topic selection. The organizing committee has rightly chosen a right topic for the 5-day webinar, FDP webinar, because everybody knows methodology is the lifeblood of research. Without knowing the research methodology, nobody can go ahead with the research work. So, in the webinar, 5-day FDP webinar, the topic selected is very, very relevant. Even among the graduate students, a knowledge on research is very essential. For postgraduate students, there is one paper by name Research Methodology. For MPhil and PhD, what they are doing practically the practical side of the research methodology. Then, why I appreciate the organizing committee? Because of second reason. The second reason is that they have selected right themes under this methodology head. I have verified each and every topic. And from the first session onwards till the last session, all the topics are arranged in a very meticulous style. So that should be appreciated. So my sincere appreciation and congratulations to the organizing committee members under the headship of Dr. Rajiv Thomas. Without having a knowledge on research methodology, we will not be able to do research work. It is inevitable to have a knowledge on research methodology as well as a research degree on every personality. If you look at the academic record of business class, similarly civil service people, higher level executives, you can see most of the people are too much interested in acquiring research degrees. Why? Because it is proved that by acquiring a research degree, you will be able to acquire, apart from knowledge, some specified skills. What are the unique skills that you can acquire through a research experience? Knowledge acquisition is the main concern behind the research work. Nobody has any objection against this. Apart from acquiring knowledge, surely a research will help you to acquire certain skills. One of the most important skills that you can acquire through research work is skill to solve the problem very meticulously. We are while teaching, every teacher should have a capacity to solve the problem very appropriately. Definitely, every walk of life, everybody will experience problems. How do we solve these problems? Surely only with by acquiring a research bent of knowledge, we will be able to acquire the skill of solving the research problems very genuinely. Surely research will promote you to acquire to acquire skill on solving the problem very meticulously. Apart from that, other important skills you can acquire through the research work is a very good communication skill. Surely after acquiring a PhD degree, a person can speak very well. Why? Because at the time of doing research work, you are supposed to read out many books, standard articles, research reports, study reports. Definitely, these reading will help you to acquire a good communication. So it is one of the essential requirements for a teacher. Likewise, writing skill is also a very important on the part of any personality. Of course, no doubt, research work will promote you to acquire a good writing skill. In addition to that, you will be able to interact with others very properly. Whenever we organize any program like this, definitely you can interact with others in a very meticulous style. That is acquired only through research work. Above all, the overall personality development of a person is possible through research work. Definitely, if you examine the teaching style of a research degree holder, you can see some uniqueness. A research degree holder can adopt some creativeness in the teaching style because of acquiring knowledge through research work. So these are all some of the important skills you can acquire through research work. Definitely, the topic, you have arranged every topics very systematically, starting from the problem selection, ending on the publication of research papers. Everybody knows that research involves a lot of stages. We have to select a topic. You have to prove that your topic is not researched by others, for which you engage the literature survey. Thereafter, you identify the research problems exactly, formulating some hypotheses. Then you are developing a right methodology for conducting your research work, selecting the right size, developing the tools for data collection, then collecting the data, analyzing the data, finding the results, then preparing the research report. After preparing the research report, you have to submit the report, draft report, before your research guide for his approval. Only after getting the approval of the research guide, the scholar is supposed to submit the thesis. In the meantime, every research scholar has to engage one more duty, that is publication of research papers in standard journals or in edited books. So why this research involves publication? There are some reasons. So why the publication is important? Publication is also one of the parts of our research work. It is also one of the parts of research work. So in this paper, I will answer two questions. Question number one is, why to write the papers? Then question number two is, how to publish the research papers in standard journals. First of all, I will give a brief of why the answer to the question, namely, why should we write research papers or publish research papers? What is the reason behind this? Publication of research paper constitutes one of the important aspects of research work. Why we publish the research papers? Out of my experience as a research guide, I have developed certain points. Some of the important points are included in the slide. You see, the first and foremost reason why we publish a research paper is to adhere the UGC regulations. What is the UGC regulation regarding the publication of papers? At the time of registration of a PhD degree by a research scholar, he has to face one important stage, namely coursework examination. In the coursework examination, in every universities, as per the UGC norms or as per the AICT norms, every research scholar has to undergo one paper by name Research and Publication Ethics. how to publish, and what are all the ethics that the researcher has to keep in mind while publishing the papers, for which he has to acquire knowledge. He has to qualify the examination. He has to qualify the written test on this paper. This is one of the core papers for the students registering for PhD. So we should have a very good thorough knowledge on how to write paper, how to publish paper, following the research ethics. Number 2 is, as far as every research scholar, after completing the coursework examination, if the research scholar wants to submit the thesis as per the university grants regulation, commission's regulation, he has to publish at least 2 papers in a standard journal posted by the UGC. So publication of paper is compulsory as far as the research scholars are also concerned. Then we should have knowledge. That is why it is compulsory. That is, every scholar is supposed to publish at least 2 papers before submitting the thesis. The third reason is why publication is necessary. Third reason, as per the UGC regulations, the teachers working at the higher level institutions, namely colleges and universities, if they want to move from assistant professor to associate professor, or from associate professor to professor post, they have to follow the minimum requirements for the promotion. What is the minimum requirement posted by the UGC for a teacher is concerned? The teacher has to publish minimum number of publications as per the UGC stipulations. So definitely the promotion of a teacher is possible only if he published certain papers in the standard or scholarly journals. That is why we think about the publication. So it is concerned with not only with the students of research scholars, but it is compulsory for faculty members also. Then the fourth reason is, very recently, the banks and corporates prefer to appoint certain research-based qualified people in various posts. For example, in the case of a banking institution, risk management is one of the important areas that they run while running their business unit. So normally they appoint risk managers only with those who have very good experience in the field of risk by conducting different type of research. So right now, most of the banks prefer to appoint the PhD holders. Similarly, in the case of corporates also, many companies prefer to appoint JRF degree holders. If you qualify the JRF, you will be appointed to certain posts. So certain posts are reserved only for JRF degree holders or PhD degree holders, even in corporate sector as well as banks. Definitely, in order to fulfill that objective, publication is a must. Then in addition to that, while doing the research work, immediately after the completion of research work, everybody knows that unless we disseminate the outcome of the research work to the stakeholders concerned, what is the use of our research work? Surely a researcher finds solution to a particular research problem which was unexplored there hitherto. The researcher explored a particular area. He has identified the research problem. He analyzed the problem by adopting scientific methodology. He reached certain conclusions. He identified certain problems. Surely, the problem identification will help him to find a creative, innovative solution. That solution is very worthy as far as the stakeholders are concerned. So while doing the research work, it is a fundamental duty of the researcher to identify who are the stakeholders. After identifying the stakeholders, the researcher has to publish the results which are useful to the stakeholders. Unless the researcher publish the result of the research work, no use. It is compulsory. That is the reason. Then regarding the publication mode, you can publish the papers in two ways. One is in a scholarly journal. Other is you can publish the papers in edited books. Nowadays, edited books are very common. You can see more number of edited books are published by different editors in association with the standard publishers. So you can publish your article, research-based articles, either in the form of a journal or in the form of a standard edited book. Surely, the publication in a standard journal or an edited work involves a lot of stages, different stages. So this is the main first part of my question, my talk area. That is why we publish the research papers. Then the second important duty on my talk is how to write and publish the papers. After taking or after getting a correct idea about why we publish a paper, next we will enter the second stage, namely how to publish, how to write a standard paper. It involves a lot of stages. Writing a paper is not an easy task. Then publication of paper is also not an easy task. It is very dedicated. So my humble request before the participants is that if you want to write and publish a paper, it will be possible only with the sincere dedication, hard work, following some norms or ethics. Then only it will be possible. So let us discuss what are the important stages involved in the process of writing of papers. Paper publication involves a lot of stages. The first stage is you have to select a scholarly journal. Suppose you have decided to write a paper, surely you have to choose the best scholarly journal, because the quality of publication depends on the quality of journal. You have to choose a right journal. You have to choose a scholarly journal. So how do you choose a journal? It involves certain important points. First thing is you have to select the area or the scope or the topic of coverage. While choosing a journal, the most important fact that you should consider is you should select that journal deals with what area. What is the ambit of the coverage of that area, that journal? What type of area that the research journal deals with? For example, your area is finance. You can choose certain finance-based journals. International Journal of Financial Services Management is there. Indian Journal of Accounting. Likewise, different journals are available. Suppose if you are going to publish a paper on marketing, you can choose Indian Journal of Marketing. Number of marketing journals are there. So it is your duty to choose which area that you are going to concentrate. Accordingly, you have to choose the journal. Then the second important point that you have to keep in mind while choosing a particular article or the journal is target audience. Who are the audience? Certain journals are meant for ordinary people. That is used by ordinary people for enriching their knowledge level. But certain other journals are not meant for ordinary people, it's for particular segments. Certain research journals are there. Research journals are meant only for research people or to acquire or to update their knowledge level. What is the uniqueness of journal when compared to the textbooks? Textbooks may not be updated, may be updated, may not be updated. No surety. Because unless you purchase the new version of the textbook, you will not get updated knowledge. If you want to get updated knowledge, surely you have to go through the journals. The uniqueness or the advantage of the journal is they are most updated one. So you have to find out the target audience, whether ordinary people or researchers, business class, computer-based people. Accordingly, you have to choose the article, journal. Thirdly, you have to search, Google, to know the different journals' name. If you want to identify the name of the journal, surely you can find certain journals name. So Google searching is very, very important. So you have to search the Google. Google refers to number of Googles are there. But if you refer the Google name, www.SCIMARGOJR.com. You can see the journals in the field of international level journals or journals dealing with the commerce management at international level. For example, certain standard journals in the field of social science or commerce or management. For example, International Management Review, American Scholar Press, it is published by. International Journal of Financial Services and Management, it is published by InterScience Publishers. Similarly, International Journal of Financial Markets and Derivatives, published by InterScience Publishers. International Journal of Accounting and Finance, InterScience Publishers. International Journal of Business and Emerging Markets, InterScience Publishers. Likewise, Indian Economic Review, published by Springer. Iranian Journal of Management Studies, published by University of Tehran. These are all some of the important journals in the field of social science. So, likewise, Indian Institute of Innovation in Technology and Management, they published one journal, IITM Journal of Business Studies. Similarly, Indian Journal of Commerce, All India Commerce Association publishes Indian Journal of Commerce, a very reputed journal. Then Indian Journal of Marketing, Vikalpa, Journal for Decision Makers, IIM Ahmedabad. Indian Journal of Finance, Associated Management Consultants. Journal of International Business Studies. Similarly, Asian Journal of Business Ethics, Journal of Strategic Management, Journal of Consumer Research, Journal of Business Venturing. You remember, all these journals are internationally accepted journals. So, I have purposefully included only these journals, only with a view to increase or to inculcate some knowledge on the globally accepted journals. That is why I have purposefully included. These are all journals applicable for social sciences. Then after that, you should know what constitutes a scholarly journal. You should have a thorough knowledge on standard journals. What constitute a scholarly journal? Journals may be of different types. So you should have a clarity about what are all the different type of journals where you can publish research papers. One category is peer-reviewed or refereed journals. It is a common form of journals before 2-3 years. Just three years back, UGC as well as all the universities insisted to publish papers only in peer-reviewed journal or refereed journals. What do you mean by peer review? What is a peer-reviewed journal? Peer review simply means a detailed evaluation, detailed review of the articles by a group of experts in the editorial board of the journal. In the standard journals, there will be an editorial board. Editorial board consists of maximum of 10 members in the case of standard journals. So these senior faculty members will examine the article submitted in detail and evaluate and ensure that whether the paper is eligible for publication or not, whether the paper is fit for publication. Because in case the board feels that, in the review board feels that the paper is not up to the mark, they will reject it. They will not accept it. So what is the uniqueness of peer-reviewed journal or peer-reviewed publication? Peer-reviewed publication is a scholarly publication. It has some creditable, it is treated as a creditable publication. So whenever we think about the publication papers, better to publish in peer-reviewed or refereed journals. Then who are the referees? Who are the members of the editorial board? To get information, that will be given in the first or second page of the journal. You can see the editorial board members. Then the review may be of different types. Peer review may be of different. Mainly 3 types of peer reviews are there. The first one is open review. As the name itself indicates, open review means the review is open to the reader, to the paper writer. Because here the reviewer as well as the author are known to each other. That means the author can know who is the reviewer of his paper, who are the reviewers. Similarly, the reviewer can know that this paper is written by so-and-so author. Both parties are known each other. Second type of review, single blind review. What is meant by single blind review? In the single blind review system, the name of the reviewer is not known by the author. It is hidden from the author. Author does not know who is the reviewer. Because to enhance or to ensure the quality of the research paper. So it is not given to the author that your paper is going to review such particular reviewer. It is hidden from the author. Then one more type of review is a double blind review. In the case of double blind review, both the reviewer as well as the paper writer or the author are kept unknown to each other. That means author does not know who is the reviewer. Reviewer does not know who is the author. Both are hidden. Such pages are not published. So both parties are not published. In the case of double blind review, these are the 3 types of review followed in peer review. This is one category journal. The second category journal is journals with a high impact factor. Even among the research scholars, even among certain teachers, they don't know what is impact factor. What is the uniqueness of impact factor? How do we calculate impact factor? A researcher is supposed to know all these points. What is meant by impact factor? How do we calculate impact factor? Impact factor is one of the competitiveness of a particular paper published in a journal. It refers the importance or rank of a journal. If your paper is published in a journal with a high impact factor, that means your paper ranks number 1 or number 2, like that. The paper is very important. That means if your paper is published in a journal with a high impact factor, you will get more acceptance. That will be a credible one as far as the paper publisher is concerned. So what is impact factor? Impact factor is simply the average number of times the paper published is cited in the JCR, Journal Citation Reports, that is prepared by a global agency, within a period of 2 years, immediately after the publication of the paper. After the publication of paper, within 2 years, how many number of times your paper is cited in the journal citation reports? So how many number of times your paper is cited in the journal citation report within 2 years after the publication? Within a period of 2 years after the publication. So this is what impact factor. Higher the number, better will be the result. More will be the acceptance. So now the research scholars are very sincere in publishing papers with a high impact factor. Impact factor is simply refers to the average number of times the published paper is cited in the journal citation reports within 2 years after the publication. Within 2 years after the publication. So how do we calculate this impact factor? We are supposed to know. The researcher is supposed to know how do we calculate. Impact factor calculation is very simple. It is calculated by dividing the number of citations in the ICJR in the year by the total number of articles published in the 2 years. We are considering after the publication within 2 years. How many within 2 years after the publication, how many number of times your paper is cited in the JCR? So number of citations in the JCR is divided by the total number of articles published in the 2 years. Say for example, I have given an example in the slide. You please listen. Number of citation to article published within 2 years. Suppose article is published in 2020. So within 2 years means 1980. So number of citations to article published within 2 years, that is between 1918 is 605. 605 times the paper has been cited in the published articles have been cited in the JCR. Then what about the number of articles published in the relevant journal between these two periods? The number of articles published in the relevant journal between 19 and 18 is 100. So the number of citations to articles, that is 605 divided by the number of articles published in the journal during that period is 600. So 605 divided by 100, we get 6.05. It is a high impact factor. 6.05 shows high impact factor. What is the meaning of that? Higher the impact factor, more will be the credibility of the journal, credibility of your paper. So coming into the journal citation reports, journal citation report, JCR, it is an annual publication by a global agency by name Clarivate Analytics. Clarivate Analytics is a particular agency working at the global level, and who is the authority to do the calculation of these JCR work. So they provide information about the academic journals in social sciences, even science subject, including impact factors. So it is very, very important. The average number of times your paper is cited within a period of 2 years after your publication. So this is what impact factor. Then one more thing you have to understand is H index. Now UGC considers the H index is also one of the criteria for assessing the quality of the researcher. If you are a good researcher, your quality is assessed by considering your H index also. In university departments, promotion at the time of promotion to higher cadre like associate professor as well as professor post, they consider this H index very carefully. It is an added factor. So what do you mean by H index? How do we calculate the H index? H index, it is simply a measure of performance of an individual researcher as a citation rate of his publications. Paper publications may be of different type, assessed in a different way. One is the quality of the paper wise. That is what impact factor based analysis. Again, after assessing the quality of paper, the researcher is also assessed. His individual index is also assessed. So, in order to assess the performance of an individual based on the citation rate of his publications, we calculate H index. So, H index is calculated by counting the number of publications for which an author is cited by other authors at least the same number of times. That means if you have published 10 papers and all the 10 papers, each of these 10 papers should be cited by at least 10 times. You have published 10 papers, and each of the 10 papers, all the 10 papers, each of the papers have been cited by 10 others while preparing their papers. So that is a credible one. So H index 10 means at least 10 papers the researcher has published, and each of the 10 papers have been cited at least 10 times. For example, an H index of 20 means that, suppose the researcher's H index is 20, that is high rate. It means that the researcher has published at least 20 papers, and all the 20 papers have been cited at least 20 times. Remember, all of your papers should be cited the same time equal to the number of publications. This is the method by which we compute H index. So H index is a score computed at the time of considering whether you are eligible for higher post to be professor or associate professor. For example, UGC considers H index score between 3 to 5 for the post of assistant professor. If your H index is from 3 to 5 is an ideal one. For the post of associate professor, the ideal rate is 8 to 12, at least 8. It should range between 8 to 12. Then for the post of professor, it should be at least 15. It should range from 15 to 20. So based on the post that you are going to apply, that H index is also calculated. That is also very, very important. You keep in mind this factor is very important. Then the third type of scholarly journal is journals with ISSN and ISBN. In the case of journals, ISSN. In the case of books, ISBN. Let us see what is ISSN. What is the uniqueness of ISSN? ISSN means International Standard Serial Number. It is an abbreviation of International Standard Serial Number. It consists of 8-digit number in order to identify a publication. The publication may be either print media or electronic media. Certain papers may be in the form of print. Certain papers may be in the form of electronic media. Whatever be the mode of print, whether it is print or electronic media, you see the ISSN. For example, ISSN number 2348-06538 number. This number is given only one journal. So if you search with this number, you can identify which journal is having this number. If a journal is having ISSN number, that means the journal is a scholarly one. Only those journals which fulfill certain conditions alone will be awarded ISSN number. Similarly, take the case of books. Before publication of a research article in an edited book, you should ensure whether the book that you are going to publish is falling under the category of ISBN. ISBN means International Standard Book Number. International Standard Book Number. It consists of 10 to 13 digits. This is also used to identify the book. For example, ISSN number 978-883-147-330. So, minimum 10 to maximum 13 digit numbers may be used for books for identification. So, if you publish your papers in a book with ISBN number, that is also more credible. It is more popular. It ranks more among the journals. Definitely, who is the authority? That you have to know. Who is the authority responsible for issuing this ISSN or ISBN number? In India, one agency by name National Science Library, NSL, National Science Library, that is located in Delhi, and this is working under government of India, who is the authority to provide or to issue this ISSN or ISBN number. Remember, while publishing papers, you can choose a journal with peer-reviewed or referred journal with a high impact factor, a journal with ISSN or ISBN. Then in addition to that, right now, that is after 40th June 2019, that is just 3 years back, 2.5 years back, UGC has given one instruction that UGC approved journals name is revised care list journals. Before 14th June 2019, UGC considered the journals with high impact factor, journals with ISBN, journals with peer review facility. They are recognized as standard journals. Right now, after 14th June 2019, University Grants Commission has introduced some changes in enhancing the quality of journals to ensure the plagiarism check, as well as ensuring the research ethics. They formed one agency. The agency's name is CARE, C-A-R-E. CARE means Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics. Consortium for Consortium for Academic and Research. UGC has formed one agency by name. It is a consortium. Consortium for Academic and Research Ethics. You know, one agency was established by the UGC in 2019 in order to ensure the quality of research. Now, UGC entrusts CARE, means Consortium for Academic Research and Ethics, in order to ensure the quality of journals. So, CARE is the authority who is responsible for determining the quality of the journals. So, in case the CARE feels that the journal is not up to the mark, they will not include the journal in their list, CARE list. So only those journals which prescribe, which fulfill the prescribed conditions as per the CARE list norms alone are included in the CARE list. So I have already mentioned to you that CARE is the authority to ensure the quality of the paper and to ensure the prevention of academic misconduct. You know, nowadays, because of after the introduction of internet facility, there are chances for copying and stealing the others' work, claiming that their own work. So in order to avoid such a type of misconduct or fraudulent activity in the field of research, they insist certain conditions. So they will verify whether the papers published in the journal are copied from any other previous publications, whether they fulfilled all the academic ethics at the time of preparation of their papers. So the CARE is the authority to ensure the quality of the papers, also the prevention of academic misconduct. So CARE prepared a reference list of quality journals. The journals prepared, or the list prepared by the CARE contains only quality journals, superior quality journals maintained by the UGC. I have already mentioned to you that it is one of the agencies formed by the UGC. So normally the CARE consists of the members from statutory councils, academics, then government bodies, then Indian Union Association. So representatives of all the statutory body, Association of Indian Universities, representing various universities, representatives of academicians, representatives of the government bodies, all these members are included in the CARE in order to determine the quality of the research paper. So now UGC approved paper means CARE list paper. So CARE list paper, again CARE list journals can be classified into two. CARE list divided the journals into two categories. You should have knowledge on the list of journals, type of UGC CARE list journals. CARE list journals may be of two types. What is first category? What is second category? First category is UGC CARE list group 1 journals. Group 1 journal. Group 1 journals means the journals which fulfill the conditions as per the UGC CARE protocol. Certain journals are included in the UGC CARE list group 1 journals. UGC group 1 CARE journal. Only those journals which fulfill the minimum conditions as per the UGC CARE protocols are included in the first category journal. This is what UGC CARE list group 1 journal. The second journals are most superior or standard journal. UGC CARE list group 2. So my advice to all the research scholars is maximum attempt should be made to publish your purpose in the UGC care list group 2, because UGC care list group journals are highly indexed in a globally recognized database. They are commonly known as Scopus indexed journals. Scopus indexed journals are highly standard journals. Most of the journals are published internationally, and Scopus is one of the best indexing or indexed journals carry a very good reputation. So if your paper is published in the indexed Scopus journal, nobody will question. Everybody knows that the publication of Scopus journal involves a lot of stages. So if you publish a paper in a Scopus journal, that itself indicates your paper fulfill all the norms of the care list group 2. So Scopus is the best indexing. It is one of the category journals which carry very good reputation. It is the largest abstract and citation database of peer-reviewed journals, books, then conference proceedings. Normally, if your paper is a Scopus 1, that means it is the largest citation database of these category journals. So you try your best to publish only UGC care list journals. The most superior journal is care list 2. Care list 1 is also qualitative because only those journals fulfill the UGC care norms. Protocols alone are included under this category, but Scopus journals are more important than first care list group 1 journals. Okay, next coming into, I have purposely included certain UGC care list journals in commerce management. Let us see UGC care list journals included in group 1 in the field of commerce and management. We can see certain journals. These are very rare journals. So if you want to publish a paper in this journal, you have to fulfill certain conditions that I will explain later. Just to see, remember the name of journals. Number 1 is Central European Management Journal. Central European Management Journal. It is published by Cianto from Poland. ISSN journal, e-journal. It is also e-journal. ISSN 658243. Similarly, business management and economic engineering. This is also published from Lithuania, Europe. Is also one of the standard journals coming under the purview of the commerce and management subject area. Then Central European Management Journal. Central European Management, Poland. It is published from Poland. Then Foundations of Management. Asian Academy of Management, that is published from Malaysia. So the uniqueness of these journals are, these are highly standard. They is approved by UGC and included in the care list 1. Similarly, European Research on Management and Business Economics. This is also one of the best journals included in the care list group 1. Then Indonesia Journal of Sustainability, Accounting and Management. Innovation and Management Review. Some of the UGC care list group 1 journals. Then these type of journals, this is the first two category belong to the commerce and management. Purposefully, I have included one multidisciplinary group also. UGC care list journals, as per 2021, in the nature of multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary means journal covers the areas of commerce, management, art subject, humanities, literature, etc. Social science, etc. Let us see some of the multidisciplinary care list journals. You should know all these because if you want to publish papers, you can choose all these journals. These are all very credible journals. One is IIM Kozhikode Society and Management Review. It is published by Sage Publication, New Delhi. The paper is, everything is done by IEM Kozhikode Society. And the publication is done by, paper will be published by Sage Publication. It has both ISSN and EISSN number. Both the hard copy and electronic form of publication is there. Electronic and print copy is there. Then Global Media Journal Indian Edition, Manipal Academy of Higher Education. International Journal of Applied Pattern Recognition, Inter Science Publishers, New Delhi. International Journal of Financial Engineering and Risk Management, Inter Science Publishers. Indian Review at Social History Review, that is also published from India, Sage Publication, New Delhi. Journal of Indian Anthropological Society, Indian Anthropological Society. Prashna, that is knowledge, that is Banara Hindu University, BHU published this journal. Then PIMT Journal of Research, Punjab Institute of Management and Technology. Some of the important journals coming under this category. Journal of Entrepreneurship, that is Sage Publication, New Delhi. These are some of the multidisciplinary journals. Similarly, Proceedings of the Indian National Science Academy. Indian National Science Academy is the publisher. Then South Sanchar Bulletin, South Sanchar Educational and Research Publication. South Sanchar print media only. Similarly, Studies in Humanities and Social Sciences, Indian Institute of Advanced Study. Studies in People's History, Sage Publications. International Journal of Urban Planning. Wesleyan Journal of Research, that is Bangalore Christian College, that is in Calcutta, West Bengal. Explore St. Xavier's Research Journal, St. Xavier's College. Then these are some of the important journals coming under the first category. So you remember, whenever you would like to publish papers, you can choose either Group 1 journal. If possible, you try your best to publish Group 2 journals, Scopus Index journals. I have included some Scopus Index journals in commerce management. Let us see some of the important Scopus Index journals. Number 1 is IEMB Management Review, Indian Institute of Bangalore. It is published by Indian Institute of Bangalore, that is in India, in English language only. So it is a very good journal, Indian Institute of Management Review, IEMB Management Review. Similarly, International Journal of Business Sciences and Applied Management. This is one of the very important Scopus journal, International Journal of Business Sciences and Applied Management. Then Information Technology and Management, Springer Publication. Information Technology and Management. Then South African Journal of Economic and Management Science. South African Journal of Economic and Management Science. This is also one of the careless second category journals. Then another journal published by Springer falling under the category of Group 2, that is Scopus Index Journal, Journal of Brand Management. Marketing people can choose this. If your area is on marketing, you can choose this paper, this journal. Similarly, any managerial science, management related any subjects, Review of Managerial Science. This is also a very worthy journal. Any managerial paper can be published. Similarly, Management International Review. Management International Review is another important journal having very good reputation, coming under the purview of Scopus journal. Then Service Business, another important journal having very good reputation, falling under the category of Group 2. Scopus journal is Service Business. Service sector industries are the most important component of this paper. Then Journal of Theoretical and Applied Electronic Commerce Research. applied electronic commerce research area. This you can use one of the important journal dealing with electronic e-commerce related topics. Similarly, journal of International Food and Agriculture Business Management Review. International Food and Agriculture Agri-Business Management Review. Nowadays, agribusiness is one of the important emerging areas of business. So, different type of papers are coming. If you publish a paper, write a paper based on agribusiness, you can publish this in this journal. It is also another reputed journal coming under the category 2. Then the Asia Pacific Journal of Management, Springer publication. Asian Business and Management, common paper. African Journal of Business Management. International Journal of Accounting Information. If your paper is based on accounting, innovative topic in accounting, you can choose this journal for publication. Then Electronic Commerce Research and another important publication in the field of e-commerce. E-commerce Research and Publication. These are some of the important journals coming under Scopus or the UGC Care List 2. Just understand there are mainly different type of purpose in peer-reviewed journal, refereed journals, journal with impact factor, journal with ISSN number, then UGC approved journal, namely Care List journal. Care List journal may be Care List 1 and Care List 2. Care List 2 are more reputed one. So now we have reached a conclusion which journal we should select. After selecting the journal, we will enter the next stage for publishing a paper. The second important stage. What is the second important stage? Refer the guidelines of the target journal. After fixing a decision regarding which journal I should publish a paper, you should go through the guidelines of the target journal. I have already mentioned you that publication of paper is not an easy task because we are supposed to refer the guidelines of the journal. It differs significantly from journal to journal. So, after identifying the exact target journal, you have to read the objectives or the aims or the scope, that is ambit of the journal. Suppose you would like to publish a paper on finance. Definitely you should go through the concerned journal because you have to ensure which are all the papers, the area papers that they will consider while publishing. So you should have a clarity about the aim of the journal, the coverage of the journal. Thereafter, go through the guidelines, the author guidelines. Author guideline means about the author, what type of information shall be accompanied, or what type of authors they prefer. Similarly, style and format requirements. Different styles are there. Globally accepted styles, for example, literature papers insist MLA style, Modern Language Association of America, not a member of Legislative Assembly. Modern Language Association of America, MLA. Similarly, APA style for social science, commerce, management, economics, political science. They insist APA style, American Psychological Association. Similarly, certain subjects insist Chicago style. Certain articles even in social science or science subject, they insist you have to follow Chicago style. Anyway, whatever be the style, whether APA or MLA, you should have a clarity about the requirements with respect to the style and format requirement. Then style regarding the figure, table, references. How do we prepare the table? Which way the title, the figure shall be shown? In the APA style, the figure's title shall be shown below the figure. In the case of table, the title shall be shown above the table. That is as per the APA style. Similarly, by preparing or at the time of preparing references APA style in certain conditions that we will discuss later. So anyway, you should know which type of style shall be followed while preparing a table, figure, or reference section. Then we should know which is the mode of submission of the paper. Right now, there are different modes. For example, you can submit the paper through hard copy. You can submit the paper through online, electronic media. You can submit through the paper either through online or offline. Whatever be the mode that you should understand, and thereafter you have to send the papers. Then all these can be obtained from the website of the journal or publishing group. Sometimes the journal may give the full detail. In other ways, you can go through the website of the journal so that you can get the full details. So this is a second important step. Then the third step is, while publishing a paper is, writing a paper is, follow ethical practices. You know, right now, research ethics constitutes one of the important areas. I think yesterday you had one session on research ethics. Research ethics constitute one of the most important responsibilities of a researcher. What is meant by research ethics? Research ethics are the code of conduct, rules and regulations, the do's and don'ts that the researcher has to follow while doing the research work from the time of selecting a topic till the submission of the research paper. You know, while writing a paper, while collecting data, while preparing the research report, you have to adhere, you have to follow certain norms. Otherwise, you are not a genuine researcher. Let us see some of the important ethical practices that you have to keep in mind while preparing a research paper. The first one is, be careful about the plagiarism. Everybody knows plagiarism means similarity. Don't copy any words from others' work. If you are copying the research work, results of the research work performed by your senior researchers, your status is only a copier. You are a copier, not a researcher. A researcher is a person who identifies a creative problem, develop a creative problem, develop a new methodology, scientific methodology, analyze the data in a very scientific style, then find a feasible, very creative solution. Everywhere you can see creativeness. The problem shall be a creative. Nobody has explored hitherto. This is the first time this type of study is being conducted. How do we ensure? Literature review. Likewise, you have to prove that your work is not performed by anyone. My work is the first authentic work performed. How can you say that? You have to go through all the previous work. Nothing shall be copied from other works. You have to ensure that your work is 100% original in nature. No sentences, no copy is done by the researcher. This is the most important ethical practice that every researcher has to keep in mind. The second important ethical practice that the researcher has to keep in mind is, don't submit the same paper in more than one publication. I know that there are certain students, in order to enhance the number of publications, what they will do, they will submit the same paper with a small changes, with a title change, they will submit in another publisher for publication. It is unethical. It is not an ethical practice, because one work you have done, it is already published. So you are not supposed to publish. Anyone is not supposed to publish same paper in the other company for publication. Third point is, paper should contain only facts. No untrue statement is recorded in the paper. Whatever statement you present in your paper shall be 100% true, correct facts. There should not be any false statement, either for his self-credit or for pleasing interested parties. Sometimes you can see certain papers contain untrue statement for pleasing some persons. Don't do that. If you are trying to please others by stating wrongly, you are unethical. You are not a ethical publisher or a paper writer. Similarly, include only those co-authors who involved or contribute directly to the work. I know that there are examples, certain examples. Sometimes the husband and wife are commerce teachers or science teachers. When the wife will prepare a paper, normally wife will include her name, her husband's name. Similarly, if the husband prepare a paper, husband may include the name of wife. It is unethical because the work is performed by wife only. She alone has performed the work. Because of wife-husband relationship, she included the name of her husband. It is unethical. Without association, but at the same time, you should remember one very important point. While doing the research work, while a researcher, you remember only with the help of a research guide, you can proceed the research work. You got registration only because of research guide. So, till the completion or even after the completion of the research work, if you publish any paper related to your research work, the paper should be authored by you and your guide. Your guide name should be included. Whatever paper you publish based on your research work. Sometimes certain unethical research scholars may publish papers related to the research without including the name of the guide. It is unethical. You go to guideship, you go to research license to do the research work only because of guide. Guide is responsible for research work. Only because of the research guide, you got a PhD degree. So, as long as you publish any work related to your research work, based on any paper related to your research work, you should include the name of your research guide because he has contribution. Similarly, if you cite the work others, you are supposed to acknowledge and cite properly. In case you copy any author's work in your work, certain definitions may be copied to substantiate your points. You can, but one condition that you should acknowledge at least the last name and the year in which the paper is published shall be included in the bracket. That means you have borrowed that part from the authors quoted in this bracket. So these are all some of the ethical practices that you have to follow. This is the third important step. Then the fourth step is follow the prescribed format. After selecting the journal, following the guidelines, following the ethical forms, ethical principles, you have to follow the prescribed format by the journal. Journal has its own format. Regarding the title, regarding the author or author's details, regarding the abstract, regarding the keywords, then introduction, literature review, methods or methodology, results and discussion part, conclusion or summary part, then acknowledgements, references, appendices or supplementary data. These are all some of the important points. I shall explain one by one in detail. So these are all some of the, not some of the, these are all the points that you have to keep in mind while preparing a journal. In the format to contain these items one by one. The first one is title. The title and author's detail. About the title indicates just like our name. We are all known by name, our name. You remember, while selecting the name of a paper, the name should be very clear, conceptually clear. It should be as short as possible. Similarly, it should show the core of the research work. The title itself indicates the core of the research work. Just like the name of a person indicates, in the olden days, people's name were based on some facts, certain facts. Likewise, the title of the research article shall be conceptually clear. It indicates the area in which what the research work deals with. It contains the core of the research work. Another important point that you have to keep in mind while preparing the title is don't use any acronyms. Acronym means abbreviations. If you use any abbreviation in the title, it is wrong. For example, GOVT is the abbreviation used for government. But in body part, you can use GOVT because it is the abbreviation globally accepted. But while putting the title, you should write as GOVERNMENT, government. Likewise, whatever abbreviation we regularly use, that can be put only in body, not in the title of the research paper. Don't use any abbreviations in the title. Then avoid long titles. Sometimes the title may be 3-4 lines. It is wrong. For example, if you want to put the title, for example, impact of the working of government agencies on the beneficiary units, that itself enough. Sometimes certain people may use a study on the impact of government agencies on the beneficiary units with a study with a special reference to. Likewise, it may extend long. No. It indicates what? Customer satisfaction in the public sector banks in Kerala. Very clear. A study on customer satisfaction in the bank, a study with a special reference to public sector banks in Malappuram district, like that. It need not be so. If you want to confine your study in Malappuram district alone, you can say that customer satisfaction in public sector banks in Malappuram district. That is enough. Likewise, it should be very simple, very lucid. It contains the core of the study. Then what about the author or author's name? Remember, while putting the name of the author, single author or double authors or more than 2 authors. I have already mentioned to you that more number of persons are involved in your work, you can put 2 or 3 names. So the name and address, official address of the author shall be attached. Whatever be the name, whatever be the post that you are holding, can be included, name and address. Then about the abstract and keyword. The next important area that the research paper is abstract. An abstract, after title, after author's name, you can see a brief abstract of the paper shall be given. Sometimes certain journals it shall be in italics. While preparing the abstract, what are all the points that you have to keep in mind? The first one is the standard articles prescribe 200 to 500 words only. One paragraph, 200 to 500 words. Then it should contain the critical part of the work. In this paper, authors have made an attempt to examine the impact of the government agencies, working at the government agencies on the beneficiary units with the special Malappuram district. For this purpose, 50 sample beneficiaries have been selected. Data were collected with the help of interview schedule and analyzed with the help of statistical mathematical tools like so and so. It is found that much information alone is enough in the abstract part. That itself indicates what it contains. The main objective of the paper, the result of the summary shall be shown. So it should be very clearly written. So sometimes it may be very lengthy. Again, you have to rewrite, finish it unless it becomes flawless. So remember, you should prepare an abstract of the research work, incorporating the objective, brief, methodology, major point finding, a brief of that in a paragraph with 200 to 500 words. After abstract, next is keywords. The most important content of the standard journal is keywords. What do you mean by keywords? Keywords means in every journal, every article, the paper deals with certain key terms. dealing with the core of the paper. So the key terms shall be specifically mentioned. For example, while studying the impact of the government agencies on the beneficiary units, you can say the terms like impact, assisted units, then some other technical terms used by you can include. Maximum 5 to 6 words can be incorporated. Maximum 5 to 6 words can be included in the keywords. Only keywords alone are incorporated. Next, after incorporating the keywords, coming into the introduction part. In the introduction, what are all the important points that you have to incorporate? Introduction is very important. You have to introduce the subject in 2-3 paragraphs, providing a brief background of the research problem, in which you can state why the study has been conducted, brief of research problem. What is the scope of this area? The study covers the area such and such, like that. What are all the research questions that you have to inquire? Research objectives or research questions. Specifically, with the hypothesis, if any, you can include. So remember, 2-3 paragraph, you can state a brief of background of the problem, the importance of the study, research questions, research objectives, then hypothesis. These are all the points that you have to incorporate in the introductory part. After the introduction is over, next enter literature review. A research journal always insists a literature review also. In the literature review, you need not present all the 200 or 300 studies you referred for the preparation of your research article. No. You can say that even though 200, 300 studies have been conducted by previous researchers, important studies conducted are so and so. A brief of in which he has mentioned about this. He has made an attempt to examine these and these. He discussed this and these aspects. So conclude, none of the above mentioned studies have examined the current topic. Therefore, the researcher made a humble or novel attempt to examine this aspect. This is a reason why we conduct a research paper. So you have to prove that your study is a creative one with a gap identification. Next is methods. Method means how the problem was studied. How did you study the problem? What type of methodology you have adopted? In the methods, what you have to state? A brief of methodology in which you have to state the method of study, whether it is descriptive or analytical, or both descriptive and analytical. What are all the sources of data that you have used for the data for the purpose of study? Similarly, while collecting primary data, what about the population, sample design, how many samples you have taken, the instrument that you have used for data collection, the tools, statistical and mathematical, you applied for data analysis. These are all the important items to be incorporated in the methodology part. Remember the brief method of study, sources of data, that information about the population and sampling design, instrument or tool for data collection, tools for data analysis. These are all included under the heading method. After that, one paragraph, you can present this method. Then coming into the result of the analysis. You are going to present the results in a discussion form. So you can put the title, results and discussion. You can see results and discussion. Results and discussion part includes result means what are the result of the study, main findings of the study, in which what you have to state, a brief of the result of the analysis. For example, profile you have done, profile of the sample respondent, in which you can say that this much respondents are falling the income category of below 10,000. Likewise, this much of respondents are having experience of more than 10 years. Likewise, a brief of the discussion based on the data analysis. The results shall be discussed. The table and figures can be used, and you can find all the you can show all the findings of the study. Then show the statistical details of the analysis also. So remember, results and discussion indicates the result of the analysis. You are discussing the results of the analysis. That is why it is called results and discussion. Then tables, figures you can use. A brief of the results can be presented along with the table details. Thereafter, the conclusions or summary. Summary part shall be included. In the summary part, you have to state this paper. In the foregoing analysis, it is clear that so and so are the major summary. Based on the summary, you can conclude. It is concluded that the scheme has significantly benefited to the beneficiary. However, it is not up to the mark. For you are going to incorporate certain suggestions or implications. You know what is meant by suggestion? Based on the problem, you are supposed to suggest a feasible solution. So summary comes first based on the findings. Then you have to conclude. This is the conclusion. So only after concluding you can suggest. Don't interpret it as conclusion is the last part. No. It is just like the doctor diagnose the disease. Whenever you approach a patient, a doctor for getting treatment, doctor will ask our question, what is the problem? How long you have been experiencing the problem? Then we will say that we have a heavy pain on this side. That's it, like that. Doctor will listen very carefully. In case doctor feels that with the symptoms it is not possible to identify, diagnose the disease, what he will do, he will suggest some lab test. That lab test is data analysis for tools. Lab test will yield certain results. That is findings. Your sugar level is, your blood BP level is, your other disease symptoms are so and so. So from the findings, he concluded that, okay, the patient is suffering from fever. Only after concluding that patient is suffering from fever, doctor suggests paracetamol medicine to the student, to the patient. So suggesting medicine is the last stage. So remember, after concluding the diagnosis or diagnosis the disease, you can suggest a solution. You can implication. Implication means whatever method is feasible to overcome the problem. It is called implication. Then the study will not be over. You have a feeling that everything is okay. No. Your work will be over only if you are able to identify certain topics for further research work also. So it is the duty of the researcher to identify some topics for further research work also. So it is the duty of the research scholar as well as paper writer to include certain topics for further research work. Then only you will be able to say that your work is a full-fledged one. Suggestion for future research, topics for future research. Okay, topics for, you can say that based on the research work, it is suggested that the future researchers should conduct research work on the following topics. Then only it will become full-fledged. Then thereafter comes the references part. Before the references, you are supposed to state the acknowledgement also. Along in the case of a thesis, 1 page or 2 pages may be earmarked for present the acknowledgements. Likewise, in the case of a research article, after the suggestions or scope for further research is over, you have to acknowledge. In the case of research paper, you are supposed to acknowledge only 2 people. One is funding agency. If you have prepared the paper with the help of a funding agency, firstly you mention the name of that agency. I am thankful to the funding agency for your financial assistance. Similarly, people who have contributed any idea through discussion. You can say, I am highly indebted to the executive director or the managing director of such and such company who have yielded valuable information for conducting the study. So you are highly thankful. Likewise, you have to acknowledge. Thereafter, references section. References are the last part of the thesis. Reference article. Reference means only relevant reference alone shall be shown. While preparing the research articles, whatever books which are relevant, which you have referred, you can incorporate. But at the same time, be selective based on credibility. Credible books shall be included. Should not forget to incorporate the credible books. If your study is based on accounting area, you can incorporate standard textbooks on accounting, advanced accounting by R.L. Gupta, advanced accounting by M.C. Shukla, like that. Similarly, if your study is confined to management, you can incorporate the textbook of Principles of Management by Coombs and O'Donnell. Likewise, standard textbooks are there. It is your duty to refer all these books and incorporate. While preparing the reference part, remember, you are supposed to follow any style. For example, APA style for social science, MLA style for literature people, Chicago style for some science subjects. For example, we use only social science people normally use APA style. In the APA style, while preparing the references, in the case of books, alphabetical order shall be followed. A, B, C. First book is written by Albert. Second book is written by Babu. Third book is written by Chandran. Fourth book is written by D. Donald. Like that, A, B, C, D. While preparing showing the books, first one, the name shall come first. For example, Hoberg, G, initial, last. Then year, followed by year within bracket, 2007. Put a dot. Then book name, The Underwriter Persistence Phenomenon. That is the name of book. It is public, name of the paper. It is name of the paper. It is a journal, not a book. Then the name of the Journal of Finance. Volume number, issue number, 62, bracket 3. Then page number, 1692, 1206. In case of books, it shall be the format. Graham B. Graham is the name, B is the initial. Dot D, LF, initials. Year bracket, 1994. Then the name of the book is Security Analysis. Then publisher place, New York. Then publishing company, Bhagirathi. This is the format followed for presenting the journal as well as textbooks. In addition to that, you can show some appendixes. For example, some supplementary information material may not be useful to present in the body part. Why? Because it creates boredom as far as the reader is concerned. Suppose your table is very lengthy. You can incorporate that labor at the end of the work. So, if you include that table in 3-4 pages, normally the reader, while reading the material, again he has to cover all these pages for getting information. So that will create a boredom as far as the reader is concerned. So avoid this and incorporate all the appendices at the end of the paper. So this is a style of preparing a standard research paper. Then one more thing, you have to follow some more guidelines in addition to these. Before preparing and before finalizing your article, let us see some more guidelines you have to follow. One is read well-written articles. You can read well-written articles so that you can understand how do we prepare a standard article. So you go through some standard articles before finalizing your work. Then develop a good writing style. Article is presented in simple and loose style. So you can develop a good writing style. Use good English without grammatical and spelling errors. While preparing the article, you very careful about quality of the language. So only good English without grammatical spelling errors. That is very important, because otherwise the editorial board will not accept your work. Similarly, be careful about editing and formatting. While editing and formatting, some specialized format is there regarding margin size, regarding paper size, one side or two side, that font size, for example, Times or New Roman, 12 font size is prescribed by certain companies. If it is so, that shall be the font size that you have to follow. So all these things you have to ensure. Similarly, ensure the length of articles. Some companies may insist that the length of article shall be 3,000 to 6,000 words. The total words shall not exceed 6,000. In such a situation, it is your duty to ensure that your paper shall not exceed 6,000 words. So that you have to keep in mind. Then another thing is, after preparing these, you have some more duties. Some more duties, for example, filling the necessary forms before acceptance. For example, copyright transfer. After preparing your paper, you have to fill up certain forms. For example, copyright forms shall be given to them. Whenever additional copies are needed, you have no right. Only the publisher have the right. Similarly, you have to give an undertaking that you will not publish the paper in anywhere other than this journal. Then thereafter, submit the paper with a covering letter as per the guidelines through either online or email or hard copy to the concerned editor. Editor is the person supposed to receive the article. So you have to send the copy to the editor either in the form of email or hard copy or online, whatever it may be. Then one more thing, after the sending a paper, some corrections may be suggested by the editorial board. So respond properly to changes. Sometimes some changes may be prescribed by the editorial board. So you are supposed to change your article based on the comments of the reviewer. Reviewer may have their own suggestion because of their experience. So you are supposed to respond properly. Thereafter, modify the paper again as per the directions of the reviewer, then resend the paper. So modify the paper according to the reviewer's direction. Thereafter, you can send the paper. Yes, these are all the steps to be undertaken, to be performed by the paper writer or publisher. If you want to publish, then purposefully I have included a model of a standard article. This is only for your purpose, reference work. This is an Asian Journal of Business Ethics. Let us see the first page. The title is there. The editorial board is there. Aims and scope is there. Journal update is there. Then submission format, ethics followed, contact details. Then editor's name, assistant editor's name. Everything is given in the first page. Then the second page, you just see the article is there. The title of the article. Then the name of the author, then address of the author, then the abstract, one paragraph, keywords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words, then introduction, let's see methodology, then literature review, organizational factors, compensation plan, that is a subject area, then a brief conclusion, one paragraph, 1 or 2 paragraph, then implication and direction for future research, scope for further research, conclusion, then brief for implication for further research. Thereafter, let us see references. So this is the format that you have to follow while preparing and publishing a research article. So remember, research paper publication is not an easy task. It involves a lot of stages. If you want to publish a paper, it is your duty to follow all these standard norms. Then only you can say your paper fulfill all the standard norms. So try your best to follow all these norms. Then only you can contribute a creative outcome through the paper publication. So paper publication is not an easy task. Hope that you might have got somewhat clarity about the publication of research papers in standard journals, especially in UGC, care list, either group 1, group 2 journals, peer-reviewed journal, referred journals, etc., etc. So it is with these few words, let me conclude. And once again, I take this opportunity to thank the organizing committee team, especially Dr. Rajiv Thomas, my best friend, for giving me an opportunity to talk on this particular area. Now it is a time of interaction. Hope that you might have some queries to clarify. In case you feel any queries, you can raise.
Sir,
Please.
you made a very nice presentation.
Very
Lengthy,
good.
I think it
Thank
is
you, thank you.
too tedious work to arranging such a 2-hour lecture.
Yes, sure.
Around 40 slides. You
Very
made a lot of homework, sir.
Yeah, sure. In a
All
very
these are
particular
new
style, I have
topics.
prepared everything. The slide is arranged in a
all
very systematic way. That is.
In the previous seminar, you talked with plagiarism, ethics. Now this is a new topic. Thank
In
you,
the
sir.
previous session, my topic was research ethics. I remember. Yesterday also there was one session in ethics.
Okay. Yeah. We have another section in ethics.
Yeah, sure.
So, dear participants, you can clarify your doubts regarding the presentation made by PILLAI sir.
I think.
If any participants have any doubts or queries, you can ask to our resource person.
Nobody has. Nobody has doubts.
Sir, one doubt. So all these
Everything is okay. No points to clarify. Okay, then you can
Sir,
have
can I
the photo session.
Sir, I need to ask a
one
question.
question, sir. Vandana.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, I was going through. It was a very.
First of all, Vandana, please introduce yourself.
Okay, sir. I am Dr. Vandana Vik. I am at present. I am working as a professor in Tirthankar Mahavir University at Moradabad, in the Department of Management. And basically,
Maharashtra. I think it is in Maharashtra.
Yeah. So
yes,
my.
Yeah, okay,
sir, Sir, my question is that as you had suggested a number of research journals of UGC Care and Scopus, sir, can you give me 1 or 2 good journals for English also, because my area of research is English literature. So can you suggest any good journals?
My humble request is you just go through the UGC website, especially Care List interdisciplinary journals. You will get it. I have collected only journals related to social science because my subject is on social science area. That is the reason. So my request is you go through the website of the UGC in which they have given a list of journals included in the interdisciplinary. So you can understand more number of journals are in the literature, English literature.
Yes, sir. I have been through that, but that was last updated in 2019. So that will work.
No, 2021 updated data are available in the website. 2021. Okay, go through the 2021 updated data. That will be nice.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Okay, Suma, please carry on.
Hello, sir. Myself, Suma. Actually, I just want to know, means I'm a lecturer and also I'm doing part-time research. And I just want to know that as you told that for every research scholar, they have to publish a paper.
Which faculty you are doing research?
Yeah, commerce only, sir.
You are doing in which area? Commerce or social?
Commerce only.
Okay.
So,
Which university?
So we have to publish a paper in UGC Care List or peer-reviewed journal, right? So I just want to know whether we have to select a topic which is related to our research topic only, or can we do some other area?
I understood. After even before the submission of the PhD thesis, UGC insists that the research scholar has to publish at least 2 papers based on the research work. You are allowed to publish, surely. Even after the award of the PhD degree, you can publish many papers based on your research work. It is allowed, no problem.
Sir, but one thing is that there is one more concept, that self-plagiarism. So in order to avoid that self-plagiarism, that is, we are reading a lot of articles and we'll be using that ideas or their meaning in our own thesis. So in future, it may become a self-plagiarism. So in order to avoid that, can we use some, can we publish a paper which is related to some other topic rather than this PhD topic?
No. My request is everybody should be very careful about the plagiarism, because you are not supposed to copy the work of others. Then you are not a researcher. If you are publishing any paper, whether related to your work or not related to your research work, but it should be original in nature. If you are publishing original work without copying any part of others, why should you hesitate? You can publish any paper. UGC insists that based on the PhD work, every researcher is supposed to publish 2 papers before submission of the thesis. But if you want to become a research guide, certain universities insist that you have to publish at least 2 papers, not based on your research work. In such a situation, you have to prepare 2 articles in the original nature and you have to publish it. I hope you might have got a very good idea about your query.
No, actually, I just want to know whether as a research scholar, can we publish 2 articles in some other area rather than this our PhD topic?
For what purpose?
Just for completing the research purpose only.
That depends on university regulation. Certain universities insist that paper publication should be related to research work. Certain universities insist that paper publication is not related to university, the research work. That depends on in which university you are doing research.
It's a Kannur University.
I don't know the strict regulation of the Kannur University. Sometimes university insists that the paper shall be published, at least 2 papers shall be published, not related to your research work. In such a case, you are supposed to prepare 2 papers not based on your research work. That you have to go through the regulations of the university in respect of that publication. I don't know the regulation of the Kannur University.
Okay,
In Calicut, University
so
of
it's
Calicut,
better to publish the paper in our topic, right?
It is allowed.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, then the time for official vote of thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your informative session. Now it's time to wind up our session. So let's invite Dr. Juwairia, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Matoma College, Chungatra, for delivering vote of thanks. Ma'am, please.
Respected Principal, distinguished guest of the day, and dear participants, a very warm good afternoon to one and all. It is such an honor for me to get this opportunity to thank all. First and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our resource person, Dr. VIJAYACHANDRAN PILLAI, who spared precious time from his busy schedule to grace this occasion and enlighten all of us with innovative ideas on preparing research article for journals. Sir rightly stressed and talked about why to write and publish a research paper and what are the steps involved in writing and publishing a research paper. I think this session is very useful in the present scenario where it is difficult to get published research article in reputed journals. On behalf of Postgraduate and Research Department of Commerce, Marthoma College, Chungatra, I extend our sincere gratitude to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Now, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our respected principal, Dr. Rajiv Thomas, for his constant guidance and support. Thank you, sir. My deep sense of thanks and appreciation goes to all the participants who were live with us and attend the session with great enthusiasm and made it a great success. Once again, thank you all.
ഓക്കെ
Okay,
സാറേ
thank you,
സാറ്
thank you.
ലീവ് ചെയ്യാം. നമ്മൾ 4 മണിക്ക് നമ്മുടെ വെലിഡിക്ടറി സെഷൻ 1 hour ഒരു സെഷൻ ഉണ്ട് 4 മണിക്ക്.
Okay,
സാറേ
Dr. Rajiv
അപ്പൊ
Thomas,
ഞങ്ങളൊരു
can I sign out? Can I sign out?
യാ യു ക്യാൻ ലീവ് സർ. Okay, dear participants, we can continue for half an hour. Our closing session will be started within few minutes. Jaswinder Singh, Principal, Khalsa College, New Delhi, will participate in this session. I request all of you to be in the link for a short period also.
Good evening to all. I feel very happy to welcome you all to the validatory function of our FDP. The past 7 days are like 7 chapters of our life, and we are sure that these 7 chapters led to the beginning of the next level of your life. So, let's move on to the validatory function with God's grace by inviting Miss Atulya, BCom final year student, for the prayer. For the prayer, I invite Atulya.
God will help us to be a good, avoiding evils and to be morally sound. We should learn to be a social being. Thank you, Almighty, for everything. God will help us to be a good, avoiding evils and to be morally sound. We should learn to be a social being. Thank you, Almighty, for everything. Thank you, Almighty, for everything.
Thank you so much, Atulya. Now, I invite Dr. Ginja George, Head in charge of Department of Commerce, Matama College, Tungatira, for the welcome address.
1 second, 1 second. So our chief guest, Jaswinder Singh, sir will join soon. I think he will join within 2-3 minutes. After that, we can express the invitation or the welcome address. Jaswinder Singh sir will join soon. I call him, he will join soon.
I request all the participants to stay here and relax. Let me introduce of this function, Professor Jaswinder Singh, Principal of Sri Guru Dev Hindu Khalsa College and Director of GAD PLC.
He has an academic excellence of 35 years and he secured more than 10 years as principal. In his credit, he has several international publications, editor chapters, and books. He undertook several major key research projects and he is a member of professional bodies and UGC committee. I am very happy to say that we are very lucky to have you as a chief guest of our function.
Dear participants, our chief guest will join soon. I think for saving time, the experience sharing, we can collect the feedback from you. Somebody who are ready to express their feedback can do now. When Justin sir join, we can shift. Sorry, he joined us. Good evening, sir. Justin sir, good evening.
Hanji, good evening, sir. Good
Yes.
evening. Good evening.
So shall we start, sir?
Yeah, please. I'm sorry, I was busy in the college work.
Okay, no problem, sir. It's all right, sir. Okay, we can proceed, sir. Okay.
Hanji, Hanji.
Now, I invite Dr. Binija George, Head in charge of Department of Commerce, Matama College, Chingatra, for the welcome note.
Good evening to one and all. First of all, I welcome you all to this 1 week online FDP, which comes to a happy ending, which is organized by Research Department of Commerce, Marthama College, Chungatra, in association with GDT TLC of MHRD, SGBT Khalsa College, University of Delhi, conducted from 11th January to 17th January 2022 on research methodology. The COVID-19 pandemic situation has given us an opportunity to spare good time for the learning. I feel very proud to say that this FDP provided us a chance to learn and update our knowledge about research methodology. The focus of the program was very specific, and the FDP has been conducted in a very elaborate way for 1 week, and all the topics have been covered by the eminent resource persons. Let me brief out the sessions. In total, we had 9 sessions of online FDP. First session was handled by Professor M.S. John on the topic Introduction to Research. The topic Problem Identification and Review of Literature is taken by Professor C. Krishnan in the second session. Third session was on the topic Research Design and Methodology by Dr. Johnny Johnson. Dr. Pradeep Kumar Singh was the resource person for the fourth session on the topic Questionnaire and Data Collection. Fifth and sixth sessions were taken by Dr. Roy C. Matthew on the topics Data Analysis and Preparation of Research Report. The topic Digital Sources of Research is taken by Sri Jisamuddin in the 8th session. The last session is taken by Dr. B. VIJAYACHANDRAN PILLAI on the topic Preparing Research Articles for Journals. Now, I am really honored and delighted to be with you all for this welcome address. At the outset, let me welcome our chief guest, Dr. Jaswinder Singh, who is the director of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center and executive director of Center for E-Learning, established in 2014 under UGC EPG Padashala. Sir has completed MPhil and PhD in economics and written many books and articles. Presentation of papers and delivery of lectures at national and international level are added to his credentials. Professor Singh is the member of various professional bodies and UGC committee. Presently, Sir is the principal of Khalsa College, University of Delhi. With great pleasure and utmost respect, I welcome you, Sir, to the valedictory function of 1 week online FDP on research methodology. I warmly and respectfully welcome our principal, who has been the pillar behind the organization of this 1 week online FDP. It's also my pleasure to welcome the organizers of this program to this function. And also, I extend my welcome to the students, research scholars, and participants from in and out of the state to this program, because without you, no program can be successful. You have really made our program very successful from the beginning to this moment. I also welcome the technical team, because without them, it cannot go on smoothly. Last but not the least, I welcome all the participants who have been with us for this 1 week program and once again for this valedictory function. I would also like to end with the quote, welcome the challenges, look for opportunities in every situation to learn and prove best wisdom. Welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your warm welcome. Now, let me invite the backbone and the brain behind this program, Dr. Rajan Thomas, the principal of our college, for the presidential address. Welcome, sir.
Respected Jaswinder Singh sir, dear participants, fellow teachers, my dear friends, good evening to all. I am very happy to attend and preside this closing ceremony of our FDP. We are participating in the last session of our FDP. So our college is a small college situated in a rural village in Kerala, that is the southern part of our country, under University of Calicut. We started our college in 1981 and we are celebrating our 40th anniversary during this year. So the Department of Commerce is also started in 1981 with our college, and the department is also celebrating its Ruby Jubilee during this year. We started with pre-degree. Later on, we have sanctioned UG BCom, then PG MCom, and in 2017 onwards, our department was elevated as a research department by the University of Calicut. So at present, there are 11 research scholars doing PhD in our college. This is second research methodology workshop coordinating by our college, by our department. In the previous year, we have another methodology workshop known as diffusion, and in which around 250 participants participated from the different parts of our country. That is also a 7-day program. So from the success of that session or that workshop, we are thinking about an FDP regarding the research methodology. So at this time, we are aware about the GUARD TLC team, and we contacted respected Vimalra for the support. She cordially accepted our proposal and gave all kind of support through Himanshi Madam, Bakshi Sir and Jaswant Sir. So they agreed to include our institution as a partner organization in delivering this FDP program, and all kind of academic and technical support was given by the GUARD TLC team in the completion of this FDP. So Professor A.K. Bakshi, he was very busy, he is a very busy person, and even though with his busy schedule, he participated in the inaugural session of this FDP, and inauguration and the keynote address was made by respected Bakshi sir. From 11th January onwards, we have different sessions, 2 sessions in a day. Then nearly 85 participants are there, nearly 50 of them on live mode and remaining are on offline mode. Eminent professors from different universities led the different sessions. We planned the sessions which is very beneficial to the research scholars. I believe that the interaction with these eminent professors has broadened the knowledge of the research scholars as well as the participants. We are extremely happy to see that the faculty members and research scholars from the various universities all over the country are joining with us with this FDP. The most important factor contributed to the success of this FDP is the collaboration and support received from Guru Angandev Teaching Learning Center, GUARD TLC team and SGTB Khalsa College, New Delhi. We express our sincere gratitude and love and affection to this institution for including our college under their cooperation. Similarly, they are very kind enough to accommodate such a college like us with this FDP, and we are grateful to the whole team of GUARD TLC, especially Vimal Madam, Jaswant sir and other eminent personalities for completing this FDP in a very successful manner. The team in our college, the faculty members in the department, similarly the technical team, the PG students, all of this FDP a grand success. I have to mention one name, the coordinator, Rincy James. He has contributed a lot for conducting the webinar, to arranging all the technical as well as other aspects, creating the documentation and all these things. The whole department worked together for the successful completion of this FDP. The management of our college especially has given strong support for conducting this FDP. So this is the first FDP arranged by our college. We have some limitations, but with great pleasure, I am addressing all of you. This is a starting point in the future endeavors of our college. Thank you, Justin sir, and other eminent faculty members for your support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's our privilege to invite the main attraction, our chief guest of this function, Professor Jaswinder Singh, Principal of Khalsa College and Director of GADTLC. Welcome, sir.
Sir, you are mute, sir. Unmute, please unmute, sir. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me begin by expressing my gratitude to the Mar Thoma College and the principal Dr. Rajiv Thomas ji for giving us this opportunity to be with you during this 1 week faculty development program. I'm also grateful to the head of the Department of Commerce, Dr. B. George, and the coordinator for this program, Ms. Rincy James, who has been helping us and also the participants in coordinating the various speakers. I had a talk with my colleague, Dr. Vimal Rar, and she explained me, this Mar Thoma College is a very important institution and it is emerging in a very big way in Kerala. We have been to Kerala. I really do not know where this college exactly is, but I think our association in the digital platform will strengthen our relationship further. The topic which was chosen for this, or the area which was chosen for this 1 week faculty development program was the research methodology in management, commerce, and social sciences is very, very appropriate. The Kerala state is known for its excellence in school education, and also, many colleges are doing extremely well. When assessing some of the colleges as part of the UGC team, I have been fortunate enough to see some of the institutes or the institutions of excellence in the UGC reports, and we have been helping them, especially in the skill development programs. Deen Dayal Upadhyay, Kaushal Kendra, many such schemes were given to colleges in Kerala. So in that sense, I'm also very proud of the community that they are contributing a maximum in the field of education. Education is the only area which can bring our society, which can bring our nation, at some level of competence, and it liberates the minds. It enriches the nation in a number of ways, and it makes the people take lead. I have many Keralite friends, and I'm very fortunate that we have very close association also in the field of research, and not only in the field of training the teachers. So in that sense, Mar Thoma College has a great future, and I beseech Dr. Rajiv Thomas ji that whenever he feels that Khalsa College or University of Delhi, for that instance, for that matter, can help you, or if you feel that if there is any area of cooperation that we can engage in, we would be very happy to do that. University of Delhi, of which we are a very important part, is a very important organization, and we have various Vidya Vistar programs in which we extend our hand of cooperation to others, and we learn from other institutions also. So it is the process of learning itself is a mutual, that sometimes we contribute to the process, and sometimes we benefit also in a very, very significant way. So especially in this area of commerce, where your college, social sciences and commerce, where your college is specializing, has a great potential. And I'm sure the teachers who have joined, or the research scholars who have joined this faculty development program, it will benefit them a lot. As far as Khalsa College is concerned and Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center is concerned, I'm sure Dr. Vimal might have shared with you many slides in which we have been, shortlisted by the Ministry of Education uh, in various fields, especially in commerce, economics, and chemistry, to provide the trainings as faculty development programs and also the faculty induction programs, which in the normal parlance are known as the induction programs or orientation courses. We designed the courses for the Ministry of Education, and many of our modules were accepted as part of the training process, and which are available to all the teachers through these programs. Once the recruitment process starts after the COVID, I'm sure our faculty induction program, where we have contributed at the national level, will also benefit and will benefit all of us. And we further look forward, to develop the national talent in terms of producing good quality content. Khalsa College was given the responsibility to develop postgraduate content in 6 subjects: commerce, economics, I'm mentioning especially, and then the business economics. We also had the responsibility to develop content in psychology, chemistry, and then forensic science. All these were the different areas in which we have, developed e-content, which is for the postgraduate courses, and it is available on the UGC website through the InflibNet. And this facility is hosted at Ahmedabad. So you can become members of analyst program of the UGC, and you can access those. And why I'm mentioning this is that it was a joint effort. It was the national effort. It was not only the teachers of Khalsa College or the University of Delhi. It were the reviewers, content writers from all over the nation. We gave them the training, as far as your domain knowledge is concerned. For instance, if you are writing in human resource management, or if you are writing in financial accounting, or if you are doing something in, investment, then it is your own domain area. We would like you to sharpen this, to bring something new, to bring something which can be delivered in a very, very effective way. And there, through the technological tools, we help the teachers develop this content. And then, we also train them how they can use the various technological platforms to deliver this content. So your subject knowledge is first converted into, the written material, and then through technological intervention, we transform them into the e-content. And this is hosted on either the UGC website or through the Ministry of HRD, on different other sites. And the teachers, they access, the students, they access this. And whenever they want, they can use this. Similarly, we also develop many MOOCs, massive online open courses, which are available free of cost on the SWAM portal of Ministry of Education in the different fields, especially in these areas in which we have specialized. And we are also helping many other organizations like Cancer Society of India, the Indian military, and then Delhi Police in the area of forensic science. There are many cyber crimes. There are many various, crime detection techniques that our Khalsa College has developed, and we have some very special teachers in this area, researchers in this area, and they help the various agencies in this. So we would like, especially Professor Rajiv ji, I would request you to, ask the teachers to be a part of this network, so that, the best talent, whether it is available in Marthoma College or anywhere else, or in Khalsa College, or maybe some other corner of Kerala. Kerala is a very big state, it's almost covering 1/4 of our coastline. So some of the best courses, some of the best things may be available there, which mean the students in the northern India or in the eastern India may not be aware of. So why restrict that knowledge only to Kerala? Why not share it with the rest of the country? So we can help our teachers in a coordinated way. It is a mutually beneficiary exercise, and it helps the nation. And also, it is not that the national objectives of the national education policy, which intends to double the gross enrollment ratio in higher education from currently around 27% to roughly 50% by 2035 in the next 15 years. It is not that the number of universities or number of colleges will be doubled. Rather, the existing systems will be strengthened, the content will be developed, the good teachers will be identified, and they will be made available through their special lectures, or maybe through this process. You see, the technology can help us. Technology cannot replace the teachers. The best brains cannot be created with the technology, but technology can definitely help the best brains reach the distance corners of our country. So in that sense, our college and our institution can help. Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center of Khalsa College. I'm also happy to see that, in the various reports of the committees, the research methodology is getting prominence. And you might have noticed that even in the National Education Policy 2020, the intention is to, over a period of time, to develop either the teaching intensive universities or the research intensive universities. So research methodology does play a very, very significant role. And as the national education policy is going to adopt 4 years undergraduate programs with multiple entry and exit options, in the last year, for instance, those students who opt to continue for the 4th year, they are supposed to write a research thesis or a dissertation, and they will also be given, training in research methodology prior to that. So in that sense, this FDP is very, very relevant, and I'm sure I'm grateful to Rajit Thomas ji for organizing this so that we can prepare the teachers for the national education policy, which is likely to be implemented. It has already started in University of Delhi, and from next year onwards, I think almost all the central universities and the institutions affiliated to these universities will start adopting these practices, and Kerala has always taken the lead. Many of the things which you find in the national education policy, either 2020 or 1986, you will find that many things are already there in many of the institutions in the state of Kerala. We have the highest literacy rate in Kerala, which is an issue of national pride. I have visited many countries where I have met many, especially the young girls, contributing in the field of medical education. In this, so this is a very, very appropriate platform, and I'm sure Rajit Thomas, Professor Rajit Thomas, will help us in this, and he will provide a lead to all of us. I'm grateful once again to all the members, especially the principal, Dr. Rajit Thomas, then Benija George and Ms. Lindsay James for organizing this program and for having us with you as part of the team. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I think 30 minutes we have a experience sharing session. 10 to 15 minutes. We can conclude by sharp 5 p.m., sir.
Right, no problem.
Robin?
Good feedback is the key to improvement. So let's invite our vibrant participants to share their valuable experience.
Okay, okay. Okay, participants, please share experience regarding the FDP.
Okay, respected dignitaries presented here, participants and organizers of this session, good evening to all. Myself, Preethamol P, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, MES Kalladi College, Mannarkad, Kerala. I really enjoyed the FDP. The course as a whole was very good. The presentation and knowledge of all the resource persons was excellent, especially the last session is preparing research article for journals. I have really liked the way this FDP has been conducted over 1 week. The assignments, quizzes, and project works assigned to participants justified the FDP. The most important feature of the FDP is the time management. All the sessions are started and ended with the schedule of the program. Another thing I noticed that is throughout the program is the presence of the most respected principal, Dr. Rajiv sir. Once again, I appreciate the team Matama College and other team members for organizing this resourceful event. Thank you.
Good evening all. Respected Principal, Dr. Rajiv Thomas sir, and other respected dignitaries and dear participants. Myself, Shajitra OP, Research Scholar of Matama College, Chungatara, and Assistant Professor of Government Arts and Science College, Mangada. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to PG and Research Department of Commerce, Matama College, Chungatara, for organizing such a fruitful FTP on research methodology. And about the seminar, all the sessions were very informative and the selection of resource persons were very apt for the topics of each session. And all the resource persons were very proficient in the topics they managed. Professor C. Krishnan sir and Dr. Vijayachandran Pillai sir were also a part of Diffusion 2020 lecture series. But whenever we hear the talk, we get a lot of new knowledge from it. And the organization of the FDP was excellent and timings were also very convenient for the participants. So I congratulate Mrs. Rincy James, the coordinator of the seminar, and the team Commerce for organizing it in a very precise way. And another thing is that that inspired us the presence of Dr. Rajiv Thomas sir, the principal of Matama College, Chungatra, throughout all the sessions of the FTP, despite the busy schedule. We will ever remain grateful to you, sir, for being the backbone of this fruitful FDP. Really, it was an informative and useful program for all the participants. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good evening, all of you. I am Dr. Vandana from Muradabad, Tirthankar Mahavir University, and I would like to congratulate all the organizers and the spokesperson, resource people of this FDP. Though I have been, means actually it appeared to me like in the beginning that it was not very appropriate for me to join because I came to know like it was for researchers, but then it was very, very knowledgeable, refreshing myself after so many years, and with all and everything was explained in such a nice manner. Like I was most of the time I was hooked to it. Though I would like to say like a little, I found it a little difficult on the part of the assignments which have been given, but then there also an extension of timing has been given. So I think it's very, very beneficial for all, and specifically for all the researchers, for the new researchers, it was very, very apt. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I am Shijin P, Assistant Professor, Government Arts and Science College, Kondoti. As regard this FDP is concerned, it is really an eye-opener to the beginners in research. And in every aspect, it is well scheduled. And every resource person selected has done and has been very expert in the areas, and they have given us lot of information which are vital and which will be very much helpful in carrying out the research. And as regard this FDP, and especially in during this time, the availability of the flexible mode enabled us to make maximum utilization of the FDP. And if being asked to rank the SDP in 5, I will rank it in between 4 to 4.5. And surely it is a great inspiration for those who wish to start the research. I think so. Then, and a special congratulations to entire team who coordinated the FTP. Thank you.
Respected dignitaries, myself Suma PC, Assistant Professor, Mahatma Gandhi College, Iriti. And I think I'm 100% sure that each and every persons who have attended this FDP has been benefited one or the other way. And especially thanks to Marthoma College, Chungatara, for arranging a 1-week FDP program. Throughout the course, the following aspects were noticed by me. That is, proper time management was there, assignment was there, and each and every participants who have gained knowledge or not, it has been ensured. Then proper coordinations from the entire team was found out, and apt communication was given in a time. And also each and every resource person who have been chosen by these the colleges, whether it is a Johnny sirs or Jasimuddin sir or Vijay Chandra sir, I'm not mentioning each and every resource person. They were an apt person to share their valuable informations, ideas and knowledge to us, and each resource person has shared without hesitating their without hiding certain informations within them. So they have presented a PPT, and also they have shared the PPT and the valuable informations to us also. And as we all know that the success of this FDP lies in the joint effort of especially Principal Rajiv sir and the coordinator Rincy James and other faculties and students, and also the participants from all over the area. And so I wish to organize such courses in future too, especially in the area of research, especially if it is related to framing the questionnaire as well as the data analysis. And that means it will be much better. It's my suggestion. It's up to you, sir. So expecting it soon. And thank you so much. Thank you for the entire team for arranging such a wonderful FDP. Thank you.
Anybody else to share their opinion?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Prachi Rastogi from Tirthankar Mahavir University. Thank you so much to the principal, sir, and all the team of the Marthoma College for conducting such a wonderful FDP. Honestly speaking, after a long time, I'm attending such a wonderful FDP. The content of every resource person was wonderful. It is something that we can very easily understand and easily learn. So thank you so much to the whole team. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Kindly give these suggestions for improvement also, and the areas where you think that something has been left out, which we can make up in the next FTP also.
Okay, sir. We will include in the feedback, sir. Feedback.
Right. Thank you.
Anybody else to? Mohit Rastogi.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Sir, basically all the content was good, but basically I want to extend the thing that if we can have a workshop over this software which we use for research, like SPSS and all, because everything we have refreshed with this course, but the thing which is left is the analytical portions on the softwares. So one hand-on training can be fruitful for this.
Okay, sir. We will manage, sir. We will try. The hands-to-hand training is very essential regarding the SPSS. That is why it is not in a position to arrange in this FDP.
Sure, sir. Sure. Thank you, sir.
Anybody else to? Okay, thank you, dear friends, for your valuable comments. Jaswant Singh sir. So, for patiently participating in this closing ceremony, our institution is grateful to all of you from the different part of our country joined in this FDP. Thank you on behalf of our college. Then the official vote of thanks will be delivered by our convener, Srimati Rinsi James.
Every Monday has a new beginning. So let's invite Mrs. Rinki Ji, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Department of Marthoma College, Chungatra, and Coordinator of FDP, who has dedicated herself entirely with determination, good planning, and perseverance for the success of the online FDP. Now, let's welcome Nan to the vote of thanks.
Thanks for the heartwarming words. Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Jaswant Singh sir, respected Principal Dr. Rajiv Thomas, IQC Coordinator, and all faculty members of Department of Commerce and other department, and beloved participants, good evening to all. The best and beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt by soul. Thank you is one such prayer among such. Here, gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. I consider this as a honor and privilege to extend vote of thanks on this beautiful occasion. Once a great man said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is just like wrapping a present and not giving it. I take this opportunity to put all my gratitude in the form of words. On behalf of Marthoma College, Chungatara, and the entire fraternity of the Institute, first of all, my sincere gratitude to Almighty God for making this event a grand success. By His blessings at event, we are able to make this event what it was. My words are not enough to express the gratitude to our beloved Chief Guest, Professor Jaswant Singh. On behalf of our college, I would like to thank our Chief Guest, Professor Jaswant Singh, Principal Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, and Director GAD TLC, who graced us with his thought-provoking address. Sir, today we had opportunity to hear your thoughts, and definitely it will encourage us in the future. Thanks a lot for giving precious time in your busiest schedule. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Then I express my heartfelt thanks to our manager, Right Reverend Thomas Martitos, Episcopa, and Bursar S. George, and IQC coordinator or their absence, who constantly support and encourage us. I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Rajiv Thomas. Sir, it was truly impossible without your motivation. We will ever remain grateful and thank you for being with us today. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by our beloved principal, Rajiv sir. Sir, you have been a constant support and give a lot of encouragement to us. Thank you, sir. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Professor A.K. Bakshi, Vice Chancellor, PDM University, Haryana, and Professor Vimal Rao, the National Coordinator of this program, on their absence. They are always stand by us, lead us, guide us, and motivated us. We feel proud and thank you for making us feel happy with their presence in the inaugural function. Thank you, Bakshi sir and Vimal ma'am. Then I also want to say thanks to all the resource persons who have entertained us with their important and worthy talk and opinion. I want to appreciate their effort to make this event highly informative for all of us. All the resource persons give their best. Thank you all. I specifically thank to all the participants of this online FDP. They are the backbone of this online program. I show appreciation to all people who have been strength of this online FDP. And thank you all for giving wonderful feedback. As we know, this type of event cannot happen overnight. The wheels start moving about a week ago, and it requires planning and bird's eye for detailing. I have been fortunate to be supported by a team of very active and dedicated faculty of my department, that is Dr. Binja George, Mr. Sanosh Ketty, Ms. Binsha M.A., Mr. Robin Abraham, Ms. Shruti S., and Dr. Juwairia. Thank you all. A heartfelt thank you to Mr. Dinosh for your technical support throughout the program. I would also like to thank Ms. Rutham Aji, Abdullah Shahana, and Jia Chako for enriching this program with a prayer song and a wonderful compare. Once again, I thank all who were directly or indirectly helped me to make the function successful. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Ruchi. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. National anthem.
Thank you. Yeah.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नाम जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगणं जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय।
Thank you all.
Once again, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will contact you later.